What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So if you watched the video we uploaded, I think it was last week, about our hunt in South Texas. We were over at the Cordis Ranch hunting some exotics. I got a number of questions about the setup that I was running, my bow, my arrows, all that good stuff. So I figured we'll go ahead and make a video about it and tell you guys a little bit about what I was running. So here it is. Here's my bow. This is the Hoyt Alpha X 30-inch model, the 30-inch ATA. Right hand, running at 70 pounds. It's pulling a little hot at 72. 28 and 3/4 inch draw. That's the thing I love about this bow. They finally came out with those new mods and you can do 1/4 inch adjustments rather than the traditional 1/2 inch. I always kind of sat at 28 and a half, which if you've shot any of the older Hoyts, you know that the lower cam, I guess it was the number 2, would run up to 28, and then the number 3 cam would hit, it would start at 28 and a half. So I was always kind of at the low end. I was losing some efficiency, getting some slower speeds. And then they came out with the 1/4 inch draw adjustments. 28 and a half always felt a little bit short. 29 felt a little bit too long. 28 and 3/4 was perfect. And I got to tell you, I've never shot better. This is a sweet bow. It's in the tombstone color. It's that gray color. Looks really great with the black limbs. So we'll just kind of do a rundown of the bow, what I have on it. This isn't going to be like a full bow review or anything, but it's just kind of an overview of what I'm running and what works for me. So we'll take a look at the bow. We'll set that down out of the way. So we'll start with the sight. This is a black gold 3-pin slider. I run a 20, 30, and 40 on the 3-pin. Man, we're still dusty from South Texas. So I run a 20, 30, and 40. I like having 3 fixed pins because where I hunt traditionally in East Texas, your shots are really within 30 to 40 yards at the very most. And 40 honestly is a long shot for where I'm hunting at. So I like having 3 known fixed distances, but I also like the opportunity when you go places like South Texas or some of these tack events, having that slider. 3 pins is just, it's comfortable for me, so that's what I'm running. My sight does have the dual indicator, so I've got 2 indicator needles. So my 20 and my 40 pins are my floaters, which has worked out really, really well for me. I've been really happy with those. We're running the MX2 Integrate Rest. It's been fantastic rest from QAD. They do a great job. They make a phenomenal rest. I've been real happy. I haven't had any issues with that. I'm running just an 8-inch stabilizer straight out of the box, the Hoyt Pro Series, on a Shrewd disconnect. It's a straight. There's no offset or anything on the stabilizer. The Ghost Sticks 2.0. Those things are awesome when you're turkey hunting, in a ground blind, deer hunting, some of these tack events, whatever. What I like about these particular bows, somebody called, I think I heard it on a podcast somewhere, somebody called the little bump they put on here the nipple of destiny. That's what I've been running with. They put the nipple of destiny on these cams, keeps your cam and your grooves out of the dirt. When you're using those Ghost Sticks, keeps dirt from getting in your strings, all that good stuff. So when I was at the ranch hunting, the strings you saw on the bow were gas strings. I had those changed out this week, actually. Now I'm running these Phantom strings. I had an issue with the gas strings. They're about a year old. I know a lot of folks love their gas strings. They really do. They swear by them. And they were good for me for a while, but just one day something felt off and I put it on the scale. I had lost 6 pounds of draw weight. I went and talked to the guys at the shop and they said they've been having some issues with the gas strings. I don't know if it's a bad batch. I don't want to blame gas necessarily for it, but they're gas strings, right? So I went ahead and had it restrung. The strings it was time to replace them anyway. So there's no telling if something busted under a serving. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is, right? We switched over, we're trying something new. These are Phantom strings. This is what the shop is using now. I've only had them on here a couple of days. I haven't put a ton of arrows through them, so that's what we're doing today. So far, I'm happy with them. We got it restrung, everything's tuned and in time. And it was pulling a little bit hot, 74 pounds. I think once everything kind of settles in, we'll get back to that 70, 72 mark. In the video, you also saw I had my quiver on. I traditionally don't shoot with a quiver on, but I knew I was going to South Texas. If you've ever been there, you know, especially on a spot and stalk hunt, there's not a whole lot of, hang on, let me take my quiver off and set this down and get ready. No, so I practiced a lot with the quiver on. I'm running the 6 arrow Hoyt quiver. It's not on here. I don't have it with me. Like I said, I don't traditionally shoot with it on. Because when I'm hunting, I'll take it off and hang it in the tree. So I don't traditionally have it there. But that's kind of a quick and dirty rundown of my bow. I've been elated with this bow. I've been super, super happy. Can't recommend it enough. I know they've got the new stuff out. I've got a new one coming in with 75-pound limbs. We'll see what happens there. I'm about a month. I think it's been exactly 4 weeks since I ordered it. So who knows when it'll come in. We'll go from there. Now for the arrow. I'm excited for this. This is the Victory VAP SS. It's a 4mm carbon stainless steel weave. I've been running this for about a year, 18 months now. And I gotta tell you, I couldn't be happier with an arrow. These are 300 spine, cut at 27.5-inch carbon to carbon with their 75 grain half out, insert, outsert, whatever you want to call it, 100 grain head, so 175 up front. I'm running the tack driver 2.75, or I'm sorry, the 2.25s. I used to run the 2.75s. I've switched over to these. They're a little bit lighter with the standard IP4 knock on the back. These are coming in right at 473 grains, which is the extreme end of heavy for me, what I'm comfortable shooting. Typically, I'm between somewhere 415 to 475. I'll shoot anywhere in there. Anything in there, I'm pretty happy with. The speeds I get and the energy output I get, I'm happy with. So cannot recommend this arrow enough. Like I said, it's a carbon stainless steel weave. These are 300 spine, 9.9 grains per inch. So they are a bit heavier. I played with the idea of using these for a long time. I've got a buddy that's a mechanical engineer and he's into archery too. You'll see him at some point on the channel. But we talked about it a lot, and I was playing with some 440 grain arrows. I played with the idea of building some of these out, and we talked about, you know, how a heavier arrow, more mass, is going to more effectively carry kinetic energy downrange than per se a lighter arrow, right? So I said I'll give them a shot, and I don't think I've ever shot an arrow better. From sub 400 grain arrows all the way to the 400 to these have been the best shooting arrows. They're not the most flat shooting arrows. I'm not like a 30-inch draw length or anything, right? But I'm averaging about 275 out of this bow with these arrows. And they hit hard. They're just a phenomenal arrow. I don't shoot anything but Victory. You know, I've been super, super happy with Victory in general. I went on a ram hunt a couple of years ago, and I was trying out Victories for the first time, and that was the VAP TKO. It's their other 4mm arrow that I've tried. And I was hesitant at first to drink the Kool-Aid, right? Everybody says Victory this, Victory that. And I didn't believe it, right? I'm just a regular dude. And I said that it's a money gimmick, it's a sales thing, it's a marketing tactic, right? Everybody hypes them up because they're sponsored by them. But, you know, one day I was out shooting, and I was shooting gold tip prior, and I wasn't happy with the product. I had a lot of variance in weights, and I just wasn't happy with the overall experience with gold tip that I had. And that's not to say anything bad about them, that's just my experience. So I said, I'll give Victory a try. We'll see what happens, right? And I gotta tell you, I couldn't have been happier. Their consistency in weights and tolerances was phenomenal. I haven't found anything better. So I took those arrows to South Texas. Again, that was the VAP TKO. I took those to South Texas on another ram hunt a few years ago on a spot and stalk. And we had a 30-mile-an-hour crosswind, just super, super windy day. And we were out hunting. And I shot a ram at 40 yards. And I got to tell you, that arrow didn't care about the wind. That arrow shot like a laser beam, and I was sold on Victory from there. That was the day I said, I don't know that I'll ever shoot anything else. I like to tinker, but Victory has been just a phenomenal product for me, in my experience, from their arrows to their components to really everything all the dealings I've had, they've been true. And that's where I got sold on Victory, and I haven't shot anything since. I've shot the VAP TKO, the RIP TKO, the VAP SS, the VAP. You know, I've shot several of their offerings, and they've all been really consistent and really true. So that's kind of a quick and dirty rundown on what I'm shooting, guys. So if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. Let me know. What are you shooting? What bow, what arrow setups are y'all shooting? In a little bit, you'll see me jump over to the car rider line at school. We're going to talk about my broadhead setup. I was shooting the Sever 1.5 hybrid. We're not going to talk about it here because the club that we're at, they have pretty strict rules about broadhead on property, so we don't even have them with us. We'll talk about them in a little bit, and we'll go from there. I'm not here to debate the mechanical versus fixed. I'm just telling you what I used, what's worked for me. Tell me what works for you. Tell me what you like. Like I said, I'm not here to beat a dead horse and fixed versus mechanical. I'm not looking to argue with anybody. You like what you like, and I'm a firm believer of use what you're comfortable and confident with. If you prefer a fixed blade, great, use that. This is what I used for this hunt, and I'm happy with it, and that's really all that matters. So with that being said, let's go shoot a little bit. Guys, I want to clarify something, that I'm not sponsored by any of these products that I'm using. You can probably tell from how small the channel is. We're not sponsored by anybody. The things that I'm using because I believe in them. They've worked for me. I'm confident with them. Nobody's given me any money to promote their products. Nobody's shipped me some arrows and said, here, use these, or given me a bow and said, this is the greatest bow in the world. I use this because I shoot it well, because I'm comfortable with it, and it's what worked for me and gave me confidence. And I encourage each of you to use what you're comfortable with that gives you confidence. More than anything, I think archery is about two things. It's about consistency and it's about confidence. Be confident in your gear and you're going to do a better job. So go forth and conquer, guys. Welcome to the Car Rider line. Why are we in the Car Rider line? So the range that we've been at, where we did the bow review, or the bow review and the arrow review and everything, has pretty strict rules about whether or not you can have broadheads. Their rule is no broadheads on the property, period. So with that being said, we didn't take any broadheads with us. We're going to respect the rules. That's just what we're going to do. So we're in the Car Rider line now, waiting to pick up kids. And I figured now was a great time to go over this, the Sever 1.5 hybrid. This is the broadhead that I took on that ram hunt that, if you guys watched the previous video, you watched a piece of that. So this particular broadhead is a Sever 1.5 hybrid with the hybrid fixed blades on the side. Sever's been out for several years now. They've gained a lot of popularity. They have been just incredible broadheads. I've been really, really happy with these. That ram was actually the first animal I've taken with the hybrid, and I was more than impressed with the performance of that head. I will overlay a picture in here somewhere of that ram. YouTube's gonna get mad, but you know what? They can get over it. They'll be fine. If you take a look at that picture, you'll see toward that back rib, he was quartering away pretty hard, and I put my pin on that rib, and I don't know how I hit that last rib and it deflected a little bit, and that broadhead just kind of rode the rib cage all the way up into the pocket of the shoulder. And if you look, you can see that hole in the shoulder. And what happened is it penetrated there and it poked his heart. So when we cut him open and everything, you could see the hole in the heart. So he bled pretty good. He was gonna die from that shot. That was gonna be it. But he didn't stop and die quite as quick as I would have liked. He went and laid down by the fence. So we went over there and put another hole in him. We shot him again because I didn't want to see him suffer. Great blood. You know, we didn't have to track him. You know, we were in that pasture we were in. We shot him in the Sendero, and he ran out into the pasture and laid down by the fence. But the blood that we did have on the ground was phenomenal. You know, between the mechanicals that open up, these fixed wings here, or I guess not fixed, but these wings, you know, when it penetrates, these wings open up and the blades come out, you know, with that rear deploying blade. And then you have the two I guess it's one blade, I guess, but fixed on each side, just for extra damage there. These Severs, man, they fly like darts. I couldn't be any happier. They performed really well. They're made of titanium. At least this one is. It's got a titanium ferrule on it. Now it does have the O-ring, which I'm not a huge fan of. But I'm also not the type of person. I don't do a lot of, I'm going to use it, replace the blades, or sharpen my broadhead, whatever. Call me paranoid, call me whatever. I don't care. I use the broadhead, I toss it, I use another one. That's just how I am. I know you can get replacement blades and replacement kits for these. I just don't. So once I have extra O-rings, because sometimes with these Severs, when you put them in your quiver, if you accidentally hit these wings too hard, that blade will deploy and snap that O-ring. It'll pop it. So I keep extras. I'll replace the O-ring and put these blades back in place. But once I use it, once I, you know, shoot it, whether I hit, I miss, whatever, I'm probably not going to use it again. That's just a me thing. You do you. Overall, I've been super happy with this broadhead. I've used it. The Sever in general, I've used for several years now. Like I said before, that ram was the first animal with the hybrid I've been able to take. I ran them through deer season, but unfortunately, I didn't kill any deer this year, which was part of the reason for that South Texas hunt, was to put some meat in the freezer, which is why we killed that stag. Now, the stag that we harvested, we did not harvest with a bow. We had to harvest her with a rifle. Those stags, if you've ever hunted them, they're super skittish. They're kind of like Axis. They run from thick brush to thick brush, and they're damn near impossible to stalk up on. I suppose it can be done. Anything can be done, right? But they weren't having it. They weren't having any bit of it. So we did end up harvesting her with a rifle, but that's okay. I don't have to do it with a bow. I would much prefer it. I really like that a lot. That's my preferred method of how to hunt, but if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'll put the bow down and pick up a rifle if I need to, because at its very core, I'm hunting to provide for my family. I'm hunting to put nutritious, healthy meat on the table for my kids. So I think that's what we're all trying to really do. I'm not a horn hunter. It's nice to kill a big one every once in a while, but it doesn't have to have big horns for me to harvest. It's all about the meat and the fare that we can put on the table, provide for our family, share with our friends, that kind of thing. So overall, Sever 1.5 hybrid is an incredible head, and I'll definitely be running it in the future. This is my overall mechanical of choice, except for turkey. We'll probably have another video about the turkey setup at another time. But my overall big game setup, traditionally I'm hunting whitetail, right? Usually, I'm not going out west and hunting elk and things like that. But for what I'm doing, this is an incredible head, and I would encourage each of you to pick a few up, give it a shot. You don't have to buy a dozen. That's the great thing about Sever. You can buy them individually. You don't have to buy a pack of 3 or a pack of 4, whatever. You buy them direct from Sever, and they ship them right to your door. It's great. So you can buy one to test it out. You can buy a dozen if you want to. It's totally up to you how you want to do it. And because they have that direct-to-consumer model, you get it a little bit cheaper individually than if you buy a bunch, in a pack. So your Grim Reapers, your Rages, your any of those other broadheads, typically these are going to be per head, I think, a little bit cheaper. Don't quote me, I didn't do the math, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to work out. So take a look at them, give them a shot. They've been incredible. I've been super, super happy with them. If you've used the Sever, drop a comment below somewhere. Let me know what you thought, what you think. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Why did you not like it? What's your broadhead of choice? Let me know down below. We'll see you next time.